Here today, and we're going to do a story walk, and the story that we're going to read is called A Place to Stay, a Shelter Story, written by Aaron Gunty and illustrated by Esteli Mesa. And we have permission to read this book today from Barefoot Books, and we're making a little video. All right, we're going to learn a great lesson today. How does that sound? All right, here we go. Are you ready, Bethany? Mm-hmm. All right, let's do it. Can you see that? I'm just going to hold this so you can see it. All right. Are you ready, Bethany? I slammed the car door and tucked Bunny Beth under my arm. I don't want to stay here, I told Mama, looking up at the tall building. I know, Mama said softly, but we're very lucky to have a place to stay. I squeezed Bunny Beth to my chest. I didn't feel lucky. This isn't a house, I whispered. Have you heard about homelessness before, kids?
Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes with homelessness, humans just like you and me, experience poverty, a lack of health care, violence, a lack of affordable housing, mental illness, job loss, and substance abuse. So today our story is to learn a lesson and to create awareness about people who are experiencing homelessness. We're going to keep going. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I can see you. You just can't see me. All right. Here we go, Bethany.
Here's the next one in the sun.
We're getting our exercise at the same time. Isn't that fun? You know what, Mama said? I think you're right. Looks more like a palace to me. A palace, I asked. Mama grinned. Let's go inside and see if the queen is here. My shadow's taking me for a walk with Braylon and Rhett. Inside, we met a woman with short hair sitting in a tall swivel chair. Her name was Kelly. Mama filled out some paperwork. Then Kelly said she would show us to our room on the 3rd floor. We passed an area with some sofas and a television on one side. Next, we walked past a room full of toys and books. Oh, wow, Mama exclaimed. I believe we found the treasure cave. Is all of this for me, I asked. You and all the other kids. Maybe you will make some new friends, said Kelly. Mama said we would visit later. If you had to move into a shelter and you could only take a few possessions with you, what would you take? Do you have any ideas? I'm going to listen while we go. Bethany, do you have any ideas?
Mm-mm.
You don't know what you'd take? Would you take that great hat?
Yeah.
Maybe a treat in a bag?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Rhett and Braylon?
I'd probably take a pillow and a blanket and some clothes.
A pillow, a blanket, some clothes. How about you, Rhett?
And our dog.
Oh gosh, I know it's so hard to leave our pets behind, isn't it? I like that idea. All right. Kelly took us to the room where she said we would sleep. It was very small. Dinner is on the 1st floor, she said before leaving us to unpack. We put our bags on one of the beds. Then Mama pressed on the mattress. A little squeaky, but it feels pretty soft. I frowned. That is not my bed. My bed had a fluffy pink blanket and 3 pillows just for me. This bed had a boring gray blanket and only 1 pillow. Good thing you guys would bring your own, right? Oh, I like this page. Mama replied, you're right. That's not your bed. In fact, that's not a bed at all. She kicked off her shoes and climbed onto the mattress. What are you doing? I asked. Mama took a big bounce. She took another bounce and then another. Her fingertips touched the ceiling. An adult jumping on the bed. Oh my goodness. Let's see what happens next.
I know. Just little dumps.
This isn't a bed. This is a rocket ship sending me straight to the stars. Do you want to touch them too? Bouncing looked like fun. It took me a few tries, but I finally touched the ceiling. Mama looked at the clock. Oh, I think it's time to go downstairs for dinner. My tummy rumbled. Get a little closer so you can see it. The flies are visiting this page. Yum! I smell spaghetti, Mama said. The dining room was large and full of people talking loudly. Some people stood behind a counter serving food. Others sat at tables. I covered my ears. This isn't a kitchen. How would you feel if you had to eat your meals at a shelter? What would you want to be served?
I need to go potty.
I think spaghetti's a good idea. What do you guys like? What would you want to be served at a strange place that you didn't really feel that comfortable about being there?
I want to be served sushi/shrimp.
Sushi? I like it.
I want to be served cut up in little tiny pieces of hot dog and mac and cheese.
Oh, mac and cheese
that's
with
a
hot
good one.
dogs.
Yeah.
Something that makes you feel some comfort, right? Yeah, Braylon and I probably need to go have sushi someday.
I wish I could have mac and cheese and hot dogs mixed every day.
Every day, it's your favorite. I like that. You're right, Mama said. This isn't a kitchen, it's a banquet hall. A banquet hall, I asked. Yes, and look at how many people have come from near and far to dine with us. Let's get our food and say hello, shall we? Okay, I sighed. Her face still looks like she's still not quite sure about this. Let's find out what's next. Think she's gonna make a friend?
Yeah.
We sat next to a woman named Alice and her two children, Grace and Andrew. Alice let me feed Andrew a bottle. Grace and I talked about school and found out we were reading the same book. It's fun to make friends. After dinner, Mama gathered my PJs, soap, and a towel so I could have a shower. I turned the water on, then ran my hand under the spray. Brr, I said. You'll just have to wait for the water to warm up before we get in, Mama replied. Wait. Oh, that will never work, I said. And why is that, Mama said. Oh my, I wonder, do you think she's going to rebel against the shower? Let's find out. Because we won't find warm water here, I smiled. Really? How will we find it, Mama asked. Deep sea diving, I said. Put your diving mask on. Now she's the one with the great imagination. We swam to the right, glug. We swam to the left, glug, glug. Over here, I shouted. The water was just right. Look ready. Playing in the sand or the gravel. After my shower, I climbed into my rocket ship and snuggled with Bunny Beth. Mama, this is the most comfortable rocket ship I have ever slept in, I yawned. I think so too, Mama whispered, kissing me on the cheek. Good night, sweetheart. Good night, Mama, I whispered back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we were off to sleep. What do you think the hardest thing would be about living in a homeless shelter? What do you think? Do you think it would be hard because you wouldn't have your things?
Yeah.
What else? Can you think of anything else that would be hard about it?
I if you didn't have a friend and you just moved there and you were still the new kid, I think it'd be hard to make friends.
I think it would be hard to adapt to a different environment. So.
And adapting to a new environment. And adapting to a new environment when your friends aren't there is very hard. You're both so right on about that. Let's hear what this book has to say. How can shelters help? A shelter isn't just a place to sleep. Shelters can give people hot meals, warm showers, and a place to wash their clothes. Some of the people who work in shelters are called social workers. They can help those staying in shelters find health care, train for new jobs, or plan how to save money for a new home. Like the characters in this book, people staying in a shelter might have a tough time getting used to living in a new place and sharing it with others. Children staying in shelters might have to go to a new school for a while. Social workers can help make these changes easier. People in the community can volunteer at shelters, helping serve food or clean the building. They can also help by giving money or by donating things shelters might need, like clothes, food, art supplies, or games. Why do people stay in shelters? The characters in this book are spending the night at a homeless shelter, a building that provides a place to stay for people who need it. People might have trouble finding a place to sleep at night for many different reasons. This could happen if a natural disaster like a hurricane or a flood destroys someone's home. It could also happen if someone can't pay for a place to live, maybe because they lost their job or got a big unexpected bill. Sometimes living at home is not safe, so people have to find a new place to stay. People who need a place to live might stay with friends or family members for a while. They might also sleep in a hotel, in the car, or in a public space like a park or a train station. Shelters are safe places where people can stay when they don't have somewhere else to go. All right, is there one more page? All right, kids, what did you think of that story? I'm going to turn my camera around 1 second.